I'm not going to spend too much time on Rubicante because he doesn't get a whole lot of screen time, but even as far as side villains go, he left quite a big impact on me my first time around. Now, the concept of the 4 elemental fiends has been in the series basically since day one, but even though it originated in the first game, Final Fantasy IV took that concept and fully realized it, giving each of the fiends their own fully realized personalities. And by far the most memorable out of all of them was the fire fiend, Rubicante. When the player first encounters Rubicante, it cements him as a threat even after the other 3 have already been dealt with pretty handily. He's single-handedly responsible for the destruction of the Ninja Kingdom Eblan, and when its Prince Edge attempts to defeat him, Rubicante just swats him aside with little to no effort. He comes across as really arrogant, but at the same time, he has a right to be. When the player finally does get to fight him, the tried and true elemental weakness strategy doesn't work, as his cloak of fire is strong enough to repel ice, which the player has been trained to know works against ice by this point. The fight is one of many that forces the player to really think and pushes the boundaries of the battle system to its limits. However, there are 2 things about Rubicante that really set him apart from other villains of his caliber. The first is his code of ethics. When the aforementioned Edge learns that his parents, the king and queen, were captured by the villainous Dr. Lugier, sort of a prototype of Hojo, and transformed into Chimera, Rubicante makes it clear that he had nothing to do with it and expresses disgust at the actions of his colleague. Then he fully heals the party's wounds just so he can have a fair fight, which is really honorable and sportsmanlike of him. The second is the rematch against him late in the game. In a rare move for any Final Fantasy villain, Rubicante thought to himself, hey, the heroes ganging up on me worked real well for them. I think I'll go get the other fiends and do the same thing to them. What follows is one of the best fights in the entire series, where you fight all 4 fiends right after another, in an exhausting final exam of a boss. You still get a free HP refill beforehand, which is pretty nice. I don't really have a whole lot else to say about him, just that he's a cool, competent, honorable henchman who leaves a huge impact despite his lack of screen time.